Why?
Did you not see these fucking two girls dead?
No,
That's what happened. You got fucking pissed off at them. You fucking dragged them down a fucking hill, and you fucking killed them. Don't fucking tell me you didn't.
I didn't kill anyone.
Bullshit.
This is the case where both the killer and the victim solved their own murder mystery. The victim caught the killer on camera, and this man's one mistake of going to the cops would get him arrested.
I told you I was on the trail. I didn't tell you I was at a murder site.
Some stories haunt you because they leave too many what-ifs. In Delphi, the victims left a clue. The killer left a confession. And in between lie dozens of disturbing angles no one can fully explain.
I did it. No, I did it.
What?
I killed Abby. I killed Abby and Libby. Will you just let everybody know how much I love them?
Of course I will. They already know, hon.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Nobody loves me anymore.
Stop.
On February 13th, 2017, the quiet town of Delphi, Indiana, was shaken when two young girls, Abigail Williams and Liberty German, disappeared during a hike. Their bodies were found the next day, less than 1 mile from the Monon High Bridge. Liberty was discovered nude, and that Abigail was found wearing Liberty's clothes. But there was no apparent evidence that either girl had been sexually assaulted. It's almost too horrific to put into words. Both Abby and Libby suffered sharp force injuries to their necks, and what the autopsy revealed was even worse. They didn't die instantly. For up to 10 minutes, they may have clung to life, slipping in and out of consciousness. But the detail that hit the courtroom like a punch to the chest was this. Major Cicero noticed Libby's blood was mixed with something wet, and he believes it was her tears. This is Richard Allen, a local resident who worked at a CVS pharmacy. He's getting questioned for a crime he may have committed 5 years ago. The idea that the killer attended public vigils, watched investigations unfold, and lived among the victims' families for 5 years makes the case particularly chilling.
Stay with it, Richard. Thank you. I don't know if I gave you one of my cards. There it is. I think you did. I probably set it down. Oh, it's right there. You are. Good. So, the reason we wanted to talk to you is about the Abby Libby case. Okay. And I appreciate your time in doing that. And as a formality, before we talk to anybody about these things, I want to make sure you understand you're not under arrest or anything like that, okay? And the door here is open. You can leave at any time you want. I'd be glad to give you a ride back or whatever.
He's wanting to leave, really. In high-pressure rooms like this, killers sometimes perform. They laugh. They lighten the mood for themselves. Could that have been happening here? Socially aware defensive manipulators use humor to control room tension, mask discomfort, and appear non-threatening. On the flip side, people cope differently under stress. Some cry, others crack jokes. Richard can be a nervous social pacifier. Nervous laughter can't be considered a confession.
So, but we need to make sure that we go cover a formality here, and I'm going to get to the page here where it's at. This is a Miranda warning. So this is a formality we take care of whenever we talk to anyone.
We're just going back to the beginning of the case, and we know you had talked to Lieutenant Doolin. We just want to figure out what you saw when you were out there before.
Great, wonderful. Okay. Now, Tony brought up something that you had done when initially you had talked to Lieutenant Doolin, and according to Lieutenant Doolin, the information he got to you from you was that you were on the trail between 1:30 and 3:30. Does it make any sense? Okay. And that you had parked at the old Farm Bureau building. I think that may have been the old welfare office out there. Well, While at the Freedom Bridge, you saw 3 females and noted that one was taller and had black or brown long hair. This is basically what he had written down.
Okay.
And maybe you even got some information about your phone or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So now you understand everything, so I want to make sure that we just kind of get some information from you, and we get started here off the bat with today's date, which is Thursday.
It's wild to think the case remained unsolved for years. The person who eventually put himself in the spotlight was Richard Allen himself.
Any criminal history? Have you been arrested for anything? Okay. Any medical problems, heart trouble, high blood pressure, psychological disorders?
Oh, yeah, and everything.
Okay.
I've had a heart attack. I've got a couple stents.
Okay.
And,
How long ago was your heart attack?
I think it's 2010.
Okay.
You were 40? 37. 37, holy cow.
Mm-hmm. And anything else?
Depression, anxiety, high blood pressure, cholesterol.
All right. And you're working at CVS.
Yeah.
So you said you've been there how many years?
Since, well, not the one here, but with CBS since 2013.
Okay.
I've been there a while now.
But you said you were living at your house out there since 2000. So you would drive back and forth with those CVS?
Yeah, I was leading Walmart. Like I said, I spent 10 years with Walmart. I was actually a store manager at one point with Walmart. Chose to leave the company and do something different, and interviewed with CVS. And
All right. Well, managing is kind of hard sometimes, I understand. Is there a particular reason why you didn't stay in management, or?
tired of it, the bureaucracy, just not really being about taking care of the customer. It's more about hitting this number on this spreadsheet and that number on that spreadsheet, and then you're getting a call every 15 minutes if you didn't hit this number on this spreadsheet. And none of them really help you take better care of the customer. You spend your time managing scorecards, and I just had enough of it.
Sure.
I was just tired of it.
Sure, okay. Let's see, so from where we're at right now, I think probably, can you help us understand what was going on Monday, February the 13th? You kind of tell us what you were doing that day and every day the girls
Okay.
were on the trail.
Okay.
Yep.
I went over to my mom's in Peru, Mexico, earlier in the day. I think my mom had hip surgery back then or something, but regardless, my wife was working, so I went over there and spent I spent the morning with them. My sisters come over and they were going to go eat lunch and stuff, and I wasn't about that, so I went home. And I remember it was a fairly warm day, or warmer than normal, so I think I just put a jacket on and went back out to the trails. Usually when we go, we walk down to High Bridge and walk back and walk down the other side and come back. It wasn't a ritual, but I remember walking down to the bridge. The times, I left my mom's, it was probably around 11:15. So I think I would have been out there, because I didn't do anything else. It would have been around noon, I thought, is when I was out there. Walked down to High Bridge. Always went out just a little ways, not all the way. Went out a little ways and watched the fish. See if I seen any fish down there, because I like fishing, and walk back and sit on the, when you turn around and go down the other fork, there's a bench that overlooks, and sat there for a few minutes and walked down the walked back out and left.
While most people are sure Richard is the killer, there are some other theories swirling around. Court documents reveal that the victims' bodies were found posed with tree branches arranged in specific patterns, which clearly suggested ritualistic or sadistic killing. Blood matching one of the girls was reportedly found painted on trees in a symbol resembling the letter F associated with Odinism.
Okay. Anything else you remember? Where was you first tried?
Said there was... The big parking lot wasn't there at the time, right?
Oh, you mean which one?
Like where the bridge is at, I don't think it was there. So there's if you went over behind, there's a back road that went up and there was a bridge, not the main bridge, there was a smaller bridge where you could park there, or you could park over on the other side. And I remember I didn't park over there where it's a farmer's entrance or something. I remember I didn't park there because I had told him something about, there were a couple vehicles there when I left, so I parked somewhere, either parked over on the bridge side or there used to be a little building there, I could have parked there. There was a trail until they got the whole thing done.
Okay.
When you're talking about the bridge, just so I'm clear, you're talking about that big blue bridge, the Freedom Bridge or whatever that goes over the highway?
Well, that's the big blue bridge, but before that was there was a, if you're going out of town, you would take the road that I think is where the park is. It veers off, it winds off this way, and there's a road. The first road you come, well, I don't know if it's the first road, but there's a road that takes off to the right, and there's houses, and then it just kind of turns into a lane. And there was a small bridge up there before. I mean, I think it's still there. If you were
Like the one, okay, so are you talking about the one-lane bridge kind of that goes over the street?
It wasn't used. It wasn't a bridge that was used, I guess is what I'm saying. It was just, there was a parking area up there that you could park in.
Okay.
And that's where that's where quite a few people would park before I mean, now there's a nice parking space, but before it was either you parked there or you parked over in the farmer's thing. And I mean, at one point they had it marked that they didn't want you parking there, so and I know it wasn't over there because I told them something about some cars that were there, so I would have been parked up on the bridge side of things, I guess is what I'm saying.
I guess it won't happen.
So this is kind of an overview of the area. So obviously this is the Blue Bridge here over the Houston Heartland Highway.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, can you mark on where you think you parked at? Good.
Show me the Blue Bridge again.
Blue Bridge, here's the Houston Heartland Highway, here's Main Street. The road that comes out from downtown goes out onto Heartland. And here's the Andersons, I think that's going to be their fertilizer plant, and down there's their...
So that's the Blue Bridge. I mean, it's right there. It would have been over in here somewhere probably.
Well, that's one of the parking areas. Okay, and then I used...
Or it would have been, there was a old building somewhere over...
this map was taken back when the building was still there. And this is the building that was on the bridge, the trail side of the bridge.
Okay.
So down up
You
here.
went this way, I think you went down this way and you, like
There was
went in an underpass or something?
Yep, that's right. And then there's a building right there, you can see it.
Okay. So it would either have been there or there.
Okay, all right, very good. Which way do you think you would have traveled to get to this building that particular day, if you remember?
Just that way that loops around.
Okay.
I don't know the names of the roads or anything. I mean, I could show you where I drove, but it just, on the way, the road that goes out, it's basically the same way that you get to this one, except, no, it's further up. And you go down and it like comes down and goes around somewhere and comes over on the other side.
Okay, very good, okay.
For about 5 minutes now, they're talking about the bridge. Why obsess over the bridge? Because that's where it happened. Notice how small talk turns specific. With Richard, where was the car? How close to the bridge? These can be subtle ways of checking if they've caught on. But with the case already being so popular in Delphi, it is hard to judge these things for guilt. If I were there that day, I'd probably talk about the bridge too. It's the obvious landmark.
Was it ever an occasion where you might have gone to the park another way? Did you go out here very often, I should ask?
Not, like, I wouldn't say often. I mean, we go out, we may go once a month, we may go twice in 1 week. I mean, it was just kind of one of those where when we felt like walking the trail, we'd go. I mean, I would say we visited it regularly. During the summer months, we didn't really go out there much in the winter. We may have gone out a time or two, but...
Right, okay.
Who knew a simple question about where he parked could be so revealing? As Richard drinks that water, you can almost see his mind racing. It reeks of guilt. And the more you observe, the clearer it becomes this man isn't clueless. He's either naturally calculating or he spent the last 5 years perfecting his act. Probably binging Dateline episodes, learning how to outsmart interrogations. Right now, he seems to be fishing, trying to figure out what the detectives know. Classic predator move, savoring the fact that he's been free this long.
So was it ever something, was there ever a time that you guys took another path to get out there besides going around this way, or do you remember anything like that?
I think there's a way if you go past where you park the farmer's entrance that I was telling you
I
about.
think it's down here. There's an entrance across from a residence that's a farmhouse. Does that make any sense?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know that there's a way that winds around, and you can eventually get back to 200 or whatever road it is. We're off of 200 North, I think it is. It comes out somewhere down there, but we only did that. I think we found that by accident one time. We thought we'd go that way and try to get back, and it was we eventually came out that way somewhere.
Okay.
But no, I wouldn't. If we were going to go there, we would go down through town and.
Okay, good to know. All right. So let's talk more about what you remember doing that day, remember seeing that day.
Okay.
You gave an account to the officer who talked to you. And do you remember how that was prompted, how that happened, that you happened to talk to the officer?
I don't remember if it was the next day or a couple days, but shortly after they were asking for anybody that was there to come in. So I went down. I got home from work and my wife said, they want to talk, because I had obviously told her that I was there. And she said they want to talk to anybody that was down there, may have any information. I don't have much, but I obviously will go down. So we went down to the sheriff's station, and I don't remember who it was, came out and talked to me and said that he would get my name and information. And then I was driving downtown for something, and I know that I remember he called me when I was in the car because I pulled over and talked to him. It was a DNR officer. And he asked me if I could come down and talk there, or if I want to meet somewhere. And I don't remember how or why. I think they were really busy, obviously, crowded probably. So I was heading down to, it was the Save-A-Lot parking lot down there, and I told him I would just meet him there if that was okay. So he came down and we talked. He looked at my phone, took my phone information, and I think he got some, we took the battery out and everything, and he got information off of it. So that's pretty much it. And I gave him the account. Forgive me, it's been years, and I thought about it a lot. As time goes on, it's like I said, I think I was there probably around noon. It could have been a little before noon or a little after noon. Walked down, back an hour, so probably 1:30 1:30, 1:45, depending on exactly what time it was that I got there that day. I just remember walking down the trail, and I had told him that when I was approaching the trailhead, I guess is what I'd call it, there was 3 girls walking off the trail, and I just remember it looking like one of them was probably watching, not babysitting, but watching the other 2 because they looked a little younger. And they looked very similar. I don't know if they were sisters or whatever, but the other one didn't necessarily. But I remember seeing them walking off the trailhead, and I didn't really see anybody.
Right there, he pins himself. And the fact that the victim herself caught the killer on camera further increases suspicion. Libby German, one of the 2 murdered girls, had the presence of mind to record the killer on her phone. The fact that a 14-year-old girl tried to gather evidence to catch her own killer is both heartbreaking and brave. And here, Richard claims no one else was there. That's not a mistake, clearly. That's a leak. By limiting the story, he exposes his knowledge. Don't forget that right now, you can head to patreon.com/Stranger Stories Plus and instantly get access to a ton of exclusive videos that I created specifically for my Patreon members only. Go check everything at patreon.com/Stranger Stories Plus.
I walked down, like I said, I looked at the water, I walked back, and I said, I mean, somebody could have walked behind me, I guess, but I sat on that bench that overlooks the creek bed and all that. And I remember telling him when I left, I remember there being, I think there was 2 vehicles down there on that farmer's entrance that I told you about. And that's why I know I didn't park there, because obviously I wouldn't recall seeing cars there if I parked there.
The farmer's interest, are we still talking about this area here, or is there some other location here?
There's a pull-in, like right next to the trail, is all I can tell you. There's a pull-in right next to the trail, and a trail actually leads up to the trail.
Yeah, it's hard to see from here, but I think this is what's called the old Mears.
Probably. There was a farmhouse across from it, is all I knew.
Right.
And it was like I mean, I guess it looked like where you take farm equipment in and out or something, but I know at one point they flagged it that it said no parking, so we didn't park there for a period of time, but.
Did you ever park there before when you went?
Yeah.
A lot of times you did? Okay.
I mean, we used to, when it wasn't marked. We did a cleanup down there one time I brought a bunch of Walmart people, kind of a community engagement thing, and we did a cleanup down there. It's the year that they tore down, we tore down that, if you go down, not the High Bridge way, but that one where I sit on the bench.
Yeah.
That I was telling you about. If you go down a hill, there used to be a little shed, a little shack down there, and they tore that, and we were there that day that we tore that down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you guys did that with Walmart. Was that a local Walmart you worked at?
Lafayette.
Lafayette?
Yeah.
Okay. The one on Commerce or the one out on
Commerce.
Okay, all right. So, you guys came up and did that. Do you know when that was?
Oh, Lord, no. Well,
It was before or after this?
2006. Oh, it would have been.
Way before.
I wasn't even with Walmart at the time. I would have already been with CPS. Yeah.
Okay. All right, somewhere around there. So you were working out there in trails. Had you been familiar with the trails before then? Was there a time that you had been out trails before that?
We had walked, after we moved to Delphi, I mean, we started experimenting. I mean, there were trails that we didn't know were there, but, you know, you'd hear about one and you'd go, and I'm sure by that point, well, obviously I know by that point I knew about them, because that's how I don't know how I got associated with the Dan something or other that runs the Erie, I think it was Dan, run like the Erie Canal thing, and McCain.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember how I became acquainted with him, but I asked him, because at Walmart, you know, as a leader, they always want you to be involved in the community, and I mean, it's a good thing,
Sure.
but you can also give money to, because we brought so many people out for that event for a day, we had so many hours, and we were able to donate money because of that from Walmart to the Erie Canal Foundation or whatever. So we worked, I guess, the question is, yeah, I had been on the trails before that day.
Mm-hmm.
And we also worked out at the Carrollton Bridge that day. There's a tow path or something. We cleaned up some stuff along there too.
Oh, okay, yep, makes sense. All right, well, that's good.
So, yeah, I sat there for a few minutes and left, and like I said, there were a couple vehicles. I may have told him the exact makes, I'm not sure. I just remember one was like a sedan, and I think maybe one was an SUV, I'm not sure. I have to look back at what I said that when I interviewed with him.
And that was at the, you call it farmer's entrance, those cars were at the farmer's entrance? Is that
Yes,
what you're
sir.
saying? Okay. What about where you parked? Were there any other vehicles?
I know there were no vehicles where I parked because I don't remember telling him. I mean, if he asked, I didn't see anything there that day.
Okay.
A lot of people would park at that farmer's entrance because I'm thinking that was probably when they didn't really want you parking there, and that's probably why I didn't park there, but it's much closer to the trails. So a lot of people like to park there. You walk in and you're actually like halfway through the trail, so you can walk one way and the other and leave. But I know at one point, like I said, they didn't want you parking there, so we didn't.
So back then, if you told, he said his report said old Farm Bureau building. So would that be?
I never really knew what that building was. I just remember telling him there was a building there. And if that's where I told him I parked, then that's probably where I parked. Because we, like I said, we would either park, obviously the farmer's entrance was always the most convenient, but there was a bridge, a small bridge before the Blue Bridge. I probably, I don't know if I got this right. This is Anderson's?
Yes.
So there was a little tiny, it used to be like a one-way bridge. It wasn't even a road anymore. Like, you could either go towards the Blue Bridge
Or
or
you drive under it too?
Yeah, I think you drive.
Now I follow.
It wasn't, that parking lot wasn't there on the other side, so you didn't, but yeah, you would, you went, like I said, you take this road that forks off coming out of Delphi somewhere, and then you take a right, and it's just a little road, and there's some people that live along it, but then at the end of the road, it goes up to this, like I said, there's like a parking area where people used to park.
I think I know what you're talking
Yeah, I
about.
think you can't see it on here, but what you're describing
Probably.
is a road that leads up to this parking area that you're talking. It's out of the side of that side of it.
Sure, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
His car was found to be parked near the area where the girls were murdered, which raised immediate suspicions. This detail became especially significant after forensic evidence linked Richard to the crime. The proximity of his car to the scene suggested that he might have been there at the right time to commit the murders. Another key detail that emerged was that some witnesses had noticed a vehicle matching his description near the crime scene around the time the girls went missing. It's unclear whether his car was directly witnessed by any of the victims or if it was caught on surveillance footage, but it was definitely a factor in narrowing down the pool of suspects.
So, how far out to the bridge did you go that day when you were out there? Do you remember?
How far what?
How far out onto the high bridge?
I have no idea how many feet it is. The way I always know is there's one of those platform things that stick off the side, and I usually, years past, like 9, 10, let's see, 6, 7, between 6 and 10 probably. I've actually been across the high bridge back when it was in a little bit better shape, but somewhere in there, 8, 9, 10, somewhere it started getting pretty rugged and stopped going across it. But for the most part, I didn't go past that one whatever the thing is that sticks out. I'd go out there and kind of look. Like I said, fisherman, I'd look and see if I see any fish or anything, and then I went back the other way.
I think those were for back in the day, if a train was coming and you were out there, that you could possibly at least get out of the train's way.
Exactly.
I don't think I would still want to be on it when a train came.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. So yeah, that day, I don't remember what year it was, but it was well before 16, 17. I don't know, just decay.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
So if you were parked there, and correct me if I say anything.
The bridge?
over here, in that building, I'm sorry. So if you're parked there, how did you get on the trail? Where did you walk?
At one point, you either walked down the road, but then at one point they had a trail there. Not a trail, I wouldn't even call it a trail. They had a gravel path that led to the new thing that they were doing. I call it the trailhead. When they started doing all that, there was a trail that would, I think it ran along the road, if I remember right, and then it just cut over to where the trailhead was at. You couldn't really park. I just remember where that path was at. You'd think you could park there, but it was no parking. So you had to walk. You either parked over here and just, it was actually closer if you went over here and you could just walk to the bridge that way. And then if you went this way, it was a little bit further because you walked along the road to...
So you would walk along the road, or was there a path that went?
At one point, I think you walked along the road. Honestly, I don't even remember. Where's the trails here? That's why I said at some point, it was probably after they put that little pathway in that we even parked there. I don't think we ever even used that until they put that path there, and it was just because it was the only way to get to trailhead from that side. And like I said, at one point, they didn't want you parking down here at this farmer thing, so they had put in a gravel path in, and you would park there. So you either parked over there, or you parked there and walked down the gravel path. And the path cut over to like where the trailhead thing is. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't know that we ever parked at that little building, whatever it was, until they laid that gravel path to it. And I think we thought that was a new, I guess, designated parking area, and that's when we parked there once in a while. We'd still park over here once in a while. It just depended on which. And like I said, there was times when we'd park there on and off whenever they didn't have it posted. They didn't want you parking there. And we probably did a time or two when they did have it posted, but we didn't make a habit of it.
So that car that was in your garage, would that have been what you drove out there that day?
Oh my God. Let me think here. It would have either been that one or our gray Ford 500. We kind of switch vehicles back and forth. It's kind of because I've oftentimes worked further away from home, and when I was working in Peru, the car's what do I say? It's a 16. So prior to that, I'd had a little red Ford Focus, and our trucks we get our truck at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So on truck day, I'd be driving over to Peru at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And one day I was driving and I was tired. I mean, there's oftentimes you'd be tired, but this day I was just so tired, like to the point I almost and should have just pulled over. But I made it over there, and I turned off. Didn't take the highway all the way up. I took the turn off that takes you into the back way to Peru, and made it all the way in town, and literally I fell asleep. And I woke up when my airbag went off. I veered off the road and hit a SUV parked on the side of the road. And literally that's when I woke up. Like I didn't even know. It took me several seconds, if not a minute, to get my bearings and even figure out what had happened. I still didn't know because when it hit the SUV, it threw it clear up over the sidewalk into somebody's front porch. Like I literally didn't brake at all. I was asleep, so I hit at full speed. So anyway, I get out and there's not even anything there. I'm like, what did I hit? And there was a person stopped on the other side of the road. Anyway, long story short, they called the police, blah, 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 and I had to get, that's when I bought that black car.
The black car being the 16?
Yeah, the one in the garage.
Okay.
And so I got that car because I have to drive back and forth and want something that gets good gas mileage. So my point is I was driving the black car, and then when I transferred and came back to Delphi, I didn't need the gas mileage anymore, and it was a nicer car, so I gave it to my wife. And from that time until just earlier this year, I drove the gray car and she drove the black car. Now, if I was going somewhere out of town, a lot of times I would use the black car, depending on how far we're going. The gray car was dependable, but it's just one of those where the longer, I guess, more recently, I started driving, if I was I was gonna go to Lafayette or something for an appointment or whatever, I'd take the black car just because it's more dependable and.
Yeah, she works at her.
But anyway,
Yeah.
and then during that time period, I drove the gray Ford 500, and she would drive the black car, had her little cat license plate and all that on it. And then when I got her van, the gray car pretty much had it, and it was either, I had that and a truck as well. I had a truck for, I don't know, 3-4 years. I bought it used, and we didn't drive it hardly ever, and it was one of those where get rid of them while they're still worth something, so we traded them both in, and I got the van that she drives now, and then I went back to driving black car, so I really like her.
If I remember right, you said you had gone to Miami County to see your mom. Mexico. Would you have planned to drive the black car because that was a trip out of town?
I wouldn't have planned, no. During that time, it was still,
Okay.
the gray car was still, it's not like it was a junk car, we bought it brand new. It was a 2006, but I'd just say in the last, 3-4 years, it's not, the car didn't run well, it's just one of those where it's old enough that, you don't want to get over somewhere, especially because usually if I am driving it, it's because she's at work and I don't want to end up having to get stranded somewhere, but that was more recently, so, that's why I don't know which, it was either the gray or the black one that day. It could have been, it could have been the black one, could have been the gray one.
Makes sense. Okay.
It was an 06 Ford 500.
Multiple witnesses reported seeing a vehicle parked near the trailhead at the Monon High Bridge around the time of the murders on February 13th, 2017. The description given was often a 2016-2017 model year vehicle, specifically a Ford Focus or a similar car. The color mentioned by witnesses was consistently a PT Cruiser or small SUV, dark-colored or possibly black. The presence of a car like Richard's in that area at that critical time linked him circumstantially to the crime scene.
So then, you get on the trails and you say you saw 3 girls. Where was it you saw the 3 girls?
They were up around the trail. I mean, I didn't interact with them. It was up around the trailhead somewhere.
So you helped her.
Like when I say they were leaving, yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming they were leaving, or they came from down where those cars parked and they were going to go back that way. I don't know.
Okay. And then, did you see anybody else when you were out there? Anybody that stand there?
Anybody that stood out, I guess. Okay. I mean, if I did see somebody, it didn't click with me. And of course, my memory was a lot better when I talked to him that day. I don't remember seeing. Like I told him, there may have been somebody on the bridge or something when I was coming back through, but I didn't. The only ones that I really noticed seeing were the 3 girls.
Okay.
Because I was walking towards them, and I mean, they obviously stood out. And like I said, I remember it looked like an older girl with 2 younger girls.
Okay.
Just walking the trail.
Okay.
And I guess I just assumed that she was probably watching them or in charge of them or whatever. It was kind of what I felt like.
Okay. If you thought you saw somebody when you were coming back through from the bridge, where they were on the bridge?
I don't really remember seeing anybody that day, but I don't know. So if I did see somebody else, they didn't jump out to me or anything else. I don't. Like I said, it could have been people down around the cars, but I don't remember. I just remember seeing a couple cars parked over there. Like a sedan and SUV or something like that.
Okay.
Admitting he saw the girls places him there. The last to see them is often the one responsible. It's too convenient as well. He frames himself as an innocent passerby, but no one else remembers him.
And then when you got back to your car, was there any other cars when you got back to your car?
I don't think so. Well, no, because I would have thought through that now.
Okay.
Or just been mine.
Do you know where you went afterwards, when you left there?
Well, that day. I always watched the stock market and
That
traded stocks a little
was
bit.
something else that they remember the officer recorded, something about the stock market. Tell us about that.
I just had a individual trading account with Daytech originally, and I think it was TD Ameritrade. I trade stocks, try to get rich, lose money.
Did that work for you?
On and off it did actually, but no, it worked really terribly there for a while, and I don't even do it anymore. So
Okay.
it's just too much of a risk.
So did you have a phone or a watch or something you were looking at the stock market on, or?
I think so. I had a program on my phone to watch stocks. I don't remember exactly
So you would keep it
when and how long I had it, but yeah, I had a program that I could depending on the reception you had, of course. If you didn't have any reception, that wouldn't work. And
Was it fairly good out there that day?
And that's honestly, I think that's why I went home as quick as I did, because I wanted to get home and watch it on my computer with my stock tickers and all that stuff. So, because I remember that's what I remember doing that. That was like a hobby, I guess, for me, was watching the stock market and looking at charts and trying to predict what something's going to do and make money off of it.
Yeah, that's way out of my league.
Well, it was mine too. I just didn't realize it at the time.
What were you wearing that day? I mean, you said you put on a jacket. You put on a jacket and
Blue jeans, and I'm sure I put on a jacket because I think it was still fairly cool that day. I don't think it was super warm. I would have put on a jacket. I don't know.
Remember what kind of jacket
Probably
you had back
jeans.
then? I mean,
I've had Carhartt jackets over the years.
colors of your jacket?
The one was blue, the one was black. Probably back then it would have been a black one. Had a hood built into it. So it was just a black zip up. Anyway, I don't even think it was a Carhartt. I think it was an off-brand, but it was like a Carhartt. I could have worn that. I've had sweatshirts like what I threw on today. Hoodies, jackets. I mean, I've got a little bit of everything. Fleece.
Anything else you maybe headgear or anything like that? Wasn't that warm that day, but wasn't that cold either.
Always kept a hat in my coat, so it would have been like a, I don't know, what do you call them, skull cap, or just not a big fluffy hat, but a small hat.
Notice that little moment? Phones buzz, quick glances down, then back to the act. Could these detectives have been silently communicating about what's going down?
So cap on your head, and anything else you've been wearing besides like what kind of shoes? I mean, not pretty strange to ask a question like that. But what was,
It would have been over tennis shoes, or I had military boots that I used to wear, but they just don't fit. They're not. I've been out of the military forever, so I had some combat boots in my closet that I used to wear occasionally. I don't know if I was still wearing them then or not. I mean, I haven't worn them in years, but could have had a pair of work boots. I don't know. So probably over tennis shoes, but if it was wet out, sometimes I'd wear a boot, like a work boot, or but like I said, the combat boots, because they held water out pretty well.
okay, great.
And I may have told him that day was wearing. I don't remember.
Do you know what kind of phone you had back then? You still have that phone, do you?
If I do, it's in a closet somewhere. I'm sure to recycled it by now.
So, a couple of things I wanted to ask you after I checked my phone. It's just like ringing like crazy. What we would like to do is to be able to confirm some of the information that you've given us so far, to be able to examine your phone. As you're well aware, phones go everywhere with everybody, and they tell a lot of story about a lot of what people do. And sometimes the information on a phone can confirm, or maybe not necessarily confirm information about what somebody is saying. We have the ability to be able to extract the data from a phone and be able to look at it and be able to tell where somebody was at.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. Would that be something you would allow us to take care of, do today, and get it done?
How long are you going to have my phone?
Well, we ideally would like to have a phone that you had. When you got that phone, did you take the data from the old phone and move it to the new phone?
I have no idea. I mean, I know. I always try to save contacts.
Right. So if you had the phone, like, where'd you get the phone at? What services?
I go through Ting. It's an online service, and a lot of people don't know about it. It's really inexpensive, and I've had it for years now.
In this room, you either leave as a witness or you don't leave at all. And right now, he knows which one he's becoming.
I'm trying to think if it's ever been, you don't even hear about AT&T anymore, but it could have been that at one point.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I never had it before we lived in Delphi, though, so I know, I'm pretty sure because I always got my phone. I work at Walmart, so I get my service plans through them because I got discounts through them. So I know it's been since I left Walmart, so.
Well, so then what I would like to do, if it's okay with you, would be to have an opportunity to look at the phone and examine some of the data on it. Really would like to get to the phone that you had back then. If you think it's in a closet somewhere in the house,
Actually, I don't have, when my wife comes home, she'll know, if we have it, she'll know exactly where it's at. So.
Okay, all right. So if it's okay with
I
you,
thought she recycled them, but she may not.
we could start with this phone. We'd be able to extract the data from that, if that's okay with you. Go ahead. Any questions you have, we'll try to answer.
Just, I don't know, it's sounding more like you're like, I'm not going to be somebody's fall guy.
Right here. Watch his face. This is when it hits him. He's not just a witness anymore. They're looking at him as the bridge guy.
Here's our
I thought we were talking,
I want to help you.
I thought you were trying to find
So
what I
everybody
might have that'd be helpful, but
That's absolutely what we're doing.
everyone we talk to, we're trying to eliminate them from any suspicion of being involved in this case.
Sure.
So
I get that.
What we want to try to do is get as much information together to be able to show, okay, we've looked and didn't find anything. So, you understand what I'm saying?
Sure, I get that. I just, like I said, honestly, it amazes me that we're even talking. I mean, it's been so long, and I haven't thought about this much, and it's just like, I don't want to be somebody's fall guy, and we're going to try to make pieces of a puzzle fit somewhere they don't fit so we can close this thing, I guess. And I'm not saying you guys, please don't think I'm questioning your integrity. That's not what I'm saying. I just, okay. I mean, I guess that's where I'm at. It doesn't seem like a simple conversation we're having. It seems more like you think I might have done it, so.
I understand what you're saying. I completely get what you're saying and how I would feel from your point of view, okay?
Yeah.
But from our situation, what we're trying to do is be able to show what all you were doing that day, take a look at everything, make sure that we can show that what you're saying is true, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that we can be able to say to someone else, whoever's prosecuting this case, look, we looked at Mr. Allen, and he's not our guy. And we looked at him because we looked at his phone. And I was going to ask you something else too, be able to look at your car, and also, with your permission, we'd like to look at your house. And so
Okay.
all these things are very, very important to us to be able to.
No, I get that. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna, I mean, if you get to a point where you think that I need further investigating and you want to get a warrant, do it, that's fine, but I'm not gonna have somebody going through my house and everything.
Sure. I just want to be honest with you.
I just don't, I guess I'm starting to feel more like your main lead or something here, and I'm not gonna do that.
We
I'm
just
not gonna-
started, did you understand that because we are so far into this, that I'm sure you see the news, you see state police doing their thing, well,
It's been a great while, yeah.
we at the Carroll County Sheriff's Department, and he's an investigator with the prosecutor's office,
Sure.
we decided to pick through the very beginning of this again.
And I
And
understand
we're
that, I guess.
We're
yeah.
talking to everybody that was out there that day and trying to, and crossing T's, dotting I's. It's nothing more than that.
And I get that part of it.
So there's no fall guy, that's not.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not trying to question anybody's integrity. I just, like, I guess like I said, at the point that you think I might have actually done this, then if you want to get a warrant, search my house, my car, my orifices or whatever, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind you looking at my phone or whatever, but, like, yeah. I don't think, I guess my point is I don't think it.
We're just asking.
Sure.
Right now, I'm just asking.
I understand that.
So it is what it is, and have to ask, so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have police out going through my house and stuff, that's just not.
That's fine. That's fine.
News leaks and somebody here, I just don't need that kind
Well,
of.
we're trying to keep this very discreet, so, you know, we're not interested in making your life difficult or anything like that. We're trying to get these things figured out.
Sure.
And get it taken care of. So,
Sure.
with that, so you said you would let us look in the phone?
Sure.
Okay, great. And you help us get to the other phone, too?
I'll see if I can find it.
Okay, all right. So let me go back to that form, and we'll get this phone back to our team, which can do that. I read this to you, so if you have any questions, do you have any questions about your rights about being able to do this? Or we just need your signature there to verify that you understood everything?
You know what? Let me talk to my wife before I do anything.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't want to do this, because I'm cool with it, but at the same time, I don't want her to get pissed off because I don't know.
It's okay.
We watch TV shows and stuff, and I just, like, I don't want to be associated with this thing, obviously, more than anybody else does. And am I an angel of a person? No. I mean, I'm like anybody else, and I guess I don't want you, maybe I don't want you looking at every website I visited, and
I can believe
so
it.
I think I'll talk to my wife, and if she's cool with it, then we'll do it.
Can I?
So he says yes, then immediately takes it back, saying his wife should also be okay with it. That's a huge tell. He wants to look cooperative, but not too cooperative. This is defensive detachment. By involving his wife's opinion and referencing TV shows, he distances himself emotionally while buying time. Classic image management behavior under pressure.
And I'm going to get something, I'm going to show you something just really quick, I'll be right back.
But no, we're trying to give you a hard time.
I understand.
Again, we're just trying to get these things taken care
And
of.
I get
It's been
that.
a long time, so.
I get that, but, and I guess that's, not that I ever question anybody's integrity, but
That's fine.
it's just, I know that it's at a point where, I mean, you want closure. You want closure for a family, and I'm not, again, I'm not, I don't know you from Adam.
No, it's fine.
I just, but you also can't say it's never happened where pieces have been, we find a piece that's close to fitting and make it fit, and I just don't.
I just want you to see why we came to you.
And here it comes, the evidence bomb that's going to hit him right where he can't wriggle out.
This is from the beginning.
Okay.
It's basically tip 74.
Okay.
That's
I
my
understand. I get you.
I don't want you to think that we're just randomly coming after you.
And you've been.
Oh, I don't think you're coming after me. It's not that.
You've been completely honest with this. You said, well, what the information you can see right there, Mr. Allen was on the trail between 13:30 and 15:30.
That's true. I mean, I don't think that.
Time there was.
I know I wasn't out there that late. I don't know what I told him that day, but I know I wasn't out there till 3:30 or so. Yeah, it's 3:30.
That would be right around 1:30 until 3:30.
No, I'm saying when I left. 1:30 would have been more of the time I would have left.
Okay.
Not gotten there. Because the only reason I remember is because I know I left around 11 o'clock or so because they were getting ready to go do lunch.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't going to do the lunch thing with everybody, so
And
I
you
just
told
went
us?
home and
Right.
was going to watch the stock market, thought it was a nice day, and I'd go take a walk on the trail before I did.
Yeah. So things we're asking you is nothing any different than we ask anybody else around there.
I guess I was actually watching my stock, so it must have been working. You asked me about that. Vehicles parked on High Bridge Trailhead. It wasn't, I mean, it was that farmer's pull-off is where I was seeing these.
Different people call.
Sure, got you. Have the information off my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, that's why I'd really like to have that cell phone in particular.
But again, that's why we're here.
sure, and I get that.
We're trying to put, if there's any pieces you missed or Anything that you can recollect at this
Sure, and
time?
that's honestly, that's what I thought this was. And I mean, there's nothing else I can really think of, but as far as searching my house and my phones and like,
Well, let me say, I haven't even got to that yet. I just want to let you know, those things have been very helpful for us, okay? That's how we estimate the successfulness.
and I guess, I see that.
Yeah.
I guess when you say progress, it's like we're still where we were, and I'm not saying you haven't made progress.
No.
You obviously have. I'm just saying, like, we're here because we haven't found the guy that did this, and I'm not gonna turn into that guy. I'm not gonna, I don't wanna become the target of something because, like I said, we watch a Dateline every week, we watch everything, and it's one of those, I mean, there's nothing that's gonna tie me to it, and I'm not worried about that. To have people come and start searching my house and stuff, I mean, my wife doesn't even know I'm here talking to people, so, but I mean, I can look for the phone, I'll talk to her, and, I mean, obviously, anytime that you feel that you need that information quicker, I know you can get it. It's not like you can't get it if you want it. I'm not an idiot.
What information would that be?
Searching my house, searching my
Oh,
phone, searching my...
Well, and again, the reason I said search your house and your car would be to be able to say to someone, look, we did actually take care of this information. We know for sure, okay, what was there, what we found, and that gives us the answer we need for a particular situation that we're dealing with.
Sure.
Okay, it doesn't mean that we're trying to put anybody in a box, okay,
Sure.
anything like that. I know you brought up several times wanting to be able to resolve the case. No, what we want to do is be able to find the person who...
Absolutely.
Not
That's
trying
what I mean.
Not try to put anybody in that box that wasn't responsible for what happened. Okay?
I understand that.
So,
I'm not saying you just want to label somebody, but...
That's exactly what he wants to say.
You know, I had nothing to do with it. I haven't been a part of this investigation. I mean, I have with what I did, and now obviously you question me further, and that's fine, but
Sure.
It's a horrible thing, and I mean, I don't want to be any more involved in it than what I have to be. If I thought I had something that was useful, by all means, I'd give you anything I had. I just don't know what's going to be useful to you.
Sure, I understand. So that's one of the reasons why we asked for the phone, is to be able to nail down that aspect, especially the phone that would have been involved in that situation, which would be the phone you gave the information on to the officer.
Sure.
And also, something that would be very important to look at would be your car, because when somebody does something that's involved in something like this,
Sure.
there might be traces of biological information and data or substances that were left behind inside the vehicle. So,
Sure, I
does that
mean-
make sense? So, would it be helpful for us to be able to look at your car to be able to determine if there'd be anything like that inside of it?
I mean, I'm going to talk to my wife before I do anything. I mean, this affects her as much as it affects me. And I know you guys don't talk to people. I don't hear a bunch of rumors out there, but I mean, I don't want anybody knowing that I talk to you guys.
Oh, I understand.
It's just not
And
something.
we don't do that.
Sure.
That's not something we want to do at all. So, we don't just go out and randomly talk to people about stuff like this.
Sure, I understand.
Okay. A couple things that I wanted to ask you about. Would you mind, sir, if we stepped out for a little bit and
Sure.
came back? Are we okay with you?
This is a big moment. The detectives leave to decide, do they confront him head on, drop the suspect bomb, or let him think he's just helping out? They're weighing whether to let him keep digging his own hole or shove him straight into it. Spoiler, they're about to corner him.
Hey, how you doing? So, what I wanted to do is kind of show you some of the stuff that we do have here. Why it's important. Why it's important. We get your cooperation. One of the things that you told us was that you had in your car. You think you drove out there in your car. We have a picture of your car that shows it was going out to the trails that day, okay? And now, one of the important things for us is to help understand exactly where you were at that day, what was going on. You've already told us that you were out there. That's really, really important.
Sure.
For you, okay?
Obviously.
So with that, what I wanted to do is try to help you work through this whole thing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We've been able to talk to your wife.
Sure.
Talk to your daughter already. Well, this is all happening. We had time to do all that.
Sure.
And we've heard that you had some issues, even had at one point put a gun in your mouth that you were going to do something to yourself, maybe 3 years or so. And, you know, look, there's a lot here that we need to get clarified, okay? As you well know, we have pictures of an individual who was on the bridge. And to some great degree, you described that individual as wearing, yourself as wearing blue jeans, a jacket that's of the same color as that. And you described a hat. It's hard to see the shoes, but they're kind of brown, okay? And this is a picture that was taken with the phone of one of the girls.
Okay, I understand that.
And the question needs to be, is that you?
If it was taken with the girl's phone, that is absolutely, I mean, it's not me, but I never have met these girls before, so even if I thought it looked like me, if it was taken with the girl's phone, there's no way it could be. I've never met them. I've never seen them.
Look, killer or not, he literally admits he saw girls. So denying that part is definitely a mistake now.
All right, so that's
And as far, well, and let's just stop there. As far as my psychological well-being,
okay.
it has been, I've been dealing with that for years. It's not something new. It's not something because I went out and killed girls. Now I've got psychological problems. Have I had issues? Did I stick a gun? I know how a gun works, and I wasn't going to shoot myself that night. It was probably a cry for help that night. You've obviously talked to my wife, so it is what it is. But I know that you haven't talked to anybody that knows me, has been around me, my family, not my family, that thinks that I may have been involved in this. What do you believe?
But this image, this person right here, he's wearing like a Carhartt jacket, just like you just told us.
Okay.
He's wearing the same clothing that you just told us. We just need to know what happened. Why?
Sure. I mean, I said I was wearing blue jeans. Now, I think blue jeans is a pretty common thing that people wear. Sure. And I said I was probably wearing a black or a blue coat. It could have been a Carhartt, a zip-up with a hoodie in it. I've had black ones. I've had a blue one, or a blue one and a black one. Like, I guess, you know, you're taking what I told you I was wearing and saying that that's me in it.
So the other kind of...
And you're serious. You literally want me to, like, that is a, you want me to say that that's my car?
We looked at
it matches everything. That is your car.
Okay, well, I'm saying that picture, it's like, okay,
Yeah, no, that there's zero doubt that that's you in the car.
I don't even, okay, that's
We're
fine.
just showing you what we have and why we need to eliminate you. That's
Sure.
the point.
Sure. All right, well, we're all done here.
Here's what
Unless you want to arrest me, that's fine.
Here's what I want to say to you at this point. You know, look, we have a lot of information here that we need clarification.
Sure.
And that's exactly why we're talking to you at this time.
Well, and that's fine.
So,
Of course it is.
you came here to the center and drove down. You rode in the car with us.
Yeah.
And we had a chance to sit down and talk. You're not a fellow who is, I think, a mean fellow. You know, you're not the kind of guy that would go out and do something malicious to somebody. So a lot of what we're trying to get figured out here today, right now, is exactly what's going on here. Why is this information showing us one thing, but then you're telling us another?
What is it showing you? What
This information
I'm going to say that is, just say that is my car. I told you I could have been driving that car.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what it is but this seems to have taken a turn, you know? You're sitting here and you're talking to me, and you're asking me things, and I get that.
Most people.
But now it's turning into...
Most people have wanted to be eliminated from this.
Well, sure.
That's
I don't want to be included to begin with. So until the point that you have something that tells you that I did this and you want to subpoena or arrest me or something, I've got nothing to worry about. So I'm not real concerned here, but your attitudes towards me have definitely changed, and I don't like the fact that, you know, it feels more like I'm being interrogated, and so then you're going to tell me that you've already talked to my wife and my daughter and stuff. Like, how straightforward is that?
First things first, a changed attitude is what happens to criminals. Secondly, whether he admits it or not, Richard Allen has reason to worry.
You know?
Well, what would you, okay, let's turn everything around. Tell me what you would do differently if you were in our situation. You had this information. How would you react? What would you do? You do the same thing that we were doing right now.
What information is it that you have?
You
have that I was out there, and I told you from the very beginning that I was out there.
Yes, you did.
I didn't hide it.
Did you see this guy?
I didn't know.
Okay.
I told you, I see the only person that I clearly remember seeing that, and this isn't from the day, I mean, this is the next day. The only people or person that came into my mind were those 3 girls that I seen.
Richard, we're not upset with you, not mad at you, anything like that. We're just
Sure.
trying to get to the bottom of this, okay? No, I'm not, I'm not here to give you a hard time. I'm just here to try to get this situation straightened out. Mm-hmm. And what we want to do is simply get to the truth. What would help us get to the truth is being able to look inside of some of the things you're talking about, okay?
And I get that.
Okay. And maybe
And on the other side of things,
here.
Sure. And on the other side of things, if I thought I had something that was going to help you, that would, what do I have that's going to help you?
Okay. Well, I have some questions we can go through here, if you don't mind. And
I think we're done.
We have some other questions here that we could go through here. And what I could do,
Want to hear questions?
what does that hurt? Some of the questions that we could ask you are simply this. And I don't want you to feel like these questions all sound strange, and it'd be very, maybe even accusing in nature, but I want you to understand I'm not trying to offend you. But they help us out. They help us out by getting to a little bit farther along in this matter.
So, I don't know. Like I said, you went, you talked to my daughter and my wife. I can't tell you what happened. I can tell you that if that picture was, I mean, you can sit and take anybody and say, well, if they were wearing this and wearing that, that could be them. If that picture was taken from one of the girls' phones,
Here's the
it's
problem
not
with
me
that.
because I've never met them.
No, but listen, here's the problem with that. You know why you can put a lot of people and say they're wearing blue jeans and a blue coat, but you know what the difference is?
No.
You said you were there.
Well, sure I did.
We have people that saw you.
As long as he doesn't ask for a lawyer, detectives can basically push, prod, and suggest whatever they want. Within legal limits, of course. The absence of legal representation leaves him psychologically exposed. Detectives can apply direct and indirect tactics, like rapport building, guilt, subtle intimidation, to elicit confessions or mistakes.
Okay.
Ricky said you were out on the bridge yourself.
There aren't that many people that saw me. I mean, I'm sure I didn't miss that many people. They walked behind me, I guess.
You said that you were out on the bridge, this bridge, yourself that day around the time when this happened.
No, I didn't.
You said you walked out onto the bridge. When we talked to you earlier, you said that you walked out to about the first platform or within that area down the bridge. That's what you told us. So we know that you were on the bridge.
Of course I was.
Okay?
And I told you that.
And with that, we can say that, is this person you? That's the question. Is that person you? That's the question we have to answer.
Sure.
Okay? So if that person is you, we know this person followed the girls all the way to the other side of the bridge and then told them to go down the hill.
Followed. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like you're saying, go.
Okay, so the bridge here, Okay, this is the girls walking towards the other side of the bridge from where the trailhead is at.
The other side.
The other side of the bridge. And this person followed them all the way to the other side of the bridge where the...
Yeah. So let's just...
And told them to go down the hill.
Okay, so let me stop here. I don't appreciate you trying to talk me into this.
No.
This is what I said. You're trying to change my words around. I told you I was on the bridge. Now you just told me this is the trailhead side of the bridge.
Over here on this
And
side.
you're saying I told you I walked on the bridge.
You said you walked on that bridge that day.
And that first trestle is somewhere,
Back there? Okay.
it's somewhere over there.
Help me understand. Okay, you came out this far. We know that...
I did.
You
I didn't go out that far that day.
You came out that far, is what you told us.
I'm not going to tell you how, I can't tell by that how far out I was.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, you're saying that's me, and you're saying this is the far side of the bridge. I don't even go out that far anymore. I haven't for years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for years, but back then, that was in 2017, okay? And the question is this you?
No.
Maybe it had been a better strategy not to corner him so early, but that's why they are the experts and we are not. While some interrogators might delay revealing conclusions to prolong rapport, in this case, declaring him a suspect tightens psychological pressure, subtly implying that escape is no longer possible.
So you're telling me that this person was out there on the bridge and wore the same clothing that you had on that day, but you didn't see them?
You can't tell that's a black Carhartt coat, a blue Carhartt coat, a pullover. I told you I could have been wearing this.
The two kinds of clothing you said you wore that day was either a black Carhartt coat or a blue Carhartt coat. Okay, you said you had blue jeans, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've had other jackets.
Okay, so put yourself in my chair.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm not going to tell you I wasn't wearing a black Carhartt that day. I told you I could have been. I don't know if that's a black Carhartt, and if it is, it's not mine, it's his.
And you said you had a hat you normally wear, a skull cap that's covered.
I said I carry one, so if I was wearing one, it would be like a skull cap or a smaller type of hat or something.
Okay. So this is the situation we're at, okay? Basically this. Either you were out there to do this to the girls, or you were out there to be able to introduce the girls to somebody else.
Okay. Good luck finding anything that points in that direction. I mean...
When a suspect says, good luck, it's often less about competence and more about hoping they actually don't. Defensive bravado like this often masks deep anxiety. By verbally daring investigators, he seems to be trying to reclaim control of a rapidly collapsing situation.
It's not me. You're not going to make me believe it's me. You're not going to find anything that ties me to those murders, so I'm not really that concerned. You know, you went from trying to, I don't know what you want to say, get my trust and then slowly lure me into telling you I killed somebody and I'm not going to do it. You know, I don't know where this changed course.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, really not. I just want you to put yourself in the situation where we as police officers are looking at all the evidence that we have and what you've told us right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not trying to give you a hard time, just want to make sure that we get everything taken care of here. That's why we wanted to look at the things that we wanted to look at.
And that's not going to happen now. I mean, like I said, we're done here. So arrest me or take me home.
I understand. So
arrest me or take me home. I'm done.
Okay. So that day, that's your phone. So on that day, you went out there on the bridge, and that you were wearing the same clothing that basically the same clothing that this person here is wearing.
That's what you think. I don't know how you can tell that that's a black Carhartt coat, which is what I told you, a black or blue Carhartt coat. Blue jeans. Never mind. This is ridiculous. You're trying to tell me that I gave you a description of this guy and I didn't. I mean, we all looked at this thing for months and years, and to me that doesn't even look like a Carhartt coat.
Well, you can't say it's not, can you? I mean, neither one of us can.
Okay, you're right.
Can't say it's not. I mean, and we can't say that it's not a Carhartt coat. We can't say that that hat isn't similar to the one that you had at one point. So,
Nothing screams, "I'm not taking this seriously," like scrolling your phone while two detectives are closing in.
Okay.
with all those things in view.
You've lost my trust. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. This is stupid. Now you pissed me off.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
And
Are you arresting me?
Well, I really want to try to get
Are
this
you
thing worked out,
arresting me?
okay? I want to try to get this thing worked out.
When a suspect pivots to blaming investigators for lost trust, it's typically a stalling tactic or a way to emotionally detach from escalating pressure. He says it's about trust, but it's not. It's about panic.
Am I free to leave or not?
You've always been free to leave.
Thank you. You're an asshole.
Some attitude from a guy who killed 2 little girls in cold blood for no reason at all. Insulting authority figures in private moments reveals displaced aggression and the release of suppressed hostility when the immediate threat is gone.
Which means absolutely nothing to you. This is a property record and receipt. So this, it's going to read kind of funny, but you'll see. So we seal everything. So sealed paper bag containing 1 pair of dirty Thorgood boots, size 7.5 mins. And then on down. So we took the clothing that you had mentioned that you possibly could have been wearing the day you're on the bridge.
Okay.
And then we also took some knives.
Okay.
We took your car, and then we also took a weapon, a SIG 40, right?
Okay.
Right there. I used to be a Beretta guy. I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Shot the Berettas, and then when I first got on the state police, we had Berettas as well, and then we went to Glocks for a little bit,
Sure.
and then we went to SIGs.
I was trying to think of what we even had. I think the Berettas were probably coming out before I got out.
You know,
Because they used to have the old 45s.
Beretta?
No, they were,
Springfield?
I have no idea, honestly. They were the government issued 45s, yeah.
Yeah, we had I think there were 40 Berettas. And I think when I came on in 2001 in the state police, we had Berettas, but we went to Glocks, not a huge fan of Glocks, but SIGs.
Mm-hmm.
If I could build an indoor range and afford the ammo, I'd shoot that thing every day.
Yeah.
You shoot yours?
I've not had a lot of experience, no.
No?
I mean, target practice here and there. It's probably been, I don't even remember. I haven't shot them in a long time, I know that.
Do they have like an indoor range in Delphi?
No, not that I know of. Honestly, I don't even know where. I haven't looked. There used to be one in Kokomo. That's the only thing I know.
Where you live
That's where I...
Yeah, and you live in town, so you can't go out your back door and shoot it.
No, I probably could. It probably wouldn't be a good idea, but...
I live out in the country, so I know my closest neighbor's like 2 miles away, so I shoot mine out there. I got like a ditch. I don't have an indoor range, but I have like a ditch I can shoot and stuff like that. So, like I said, these are the items that we took. These are the items that we're testing. Some tests take longer than others, as you know. So the lab wants me to ask a few questions just about to help us with the testing, and you'll understand when I ask you.
Okay.
So, for example, they took a lot of swabs. They're taking swabs off of everything.
Okay.
So what they want to know is, have you ever loaned anything out that we've taken? And again, I just told you what we took. I realized that, but mostly some of the major items have you ever loaned them out for a significant time? Because if, for example, my buddy's fuel pump went out in his truck. He said, hey, can I borrow your old truck? And I said, yeah. He said it's going to be 2 weeks, ended up being 5 or 6 months. That would be a significant time frame. That my buddy's DNA would be in that truck.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've loaned out for besides your family members? We don't care about your wife's
Not
DNA.
that I can think of.
You never loaned a truck out, or your it's a Ford Focus. Is that what it is?
I mean, if I do, I certainly don't remember. Most of my family has vehicles, so extra vehicles.
Yeah.
So.
The same thing like my son. He sometimes will come over and leave his coat, and I'll wear it for a couple months or something like that.
Okay.
But, or my son-in-law, he'll spend money on guns. He's a gun freak. He likes to buy guns, and then he'll be like, "Hey, can I borrow $500?" And then he'll give me one of his guns as collateral, and then when he gets the money back. Anything like that
Nope.
you know of? Okay. So, I'll let the lab know that. That's one of the big things. And then, like I said, some of the tests are already back. I do want to talk to you about one of the tests that we got the results back. Oh, the other thing is, any of these knives or the gun, did you have that the day that you recall having that with you on the day of the 13th when you were out there on the bridge?
No.
You don't remember if you did or you didn't?
I didn't. I just went out for a short walk that day.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll get to the meat and potatoes of this, Rick. I appreciate you being cooperative with me. I want to talk about the results of your handgun, okay?
Okay.
So, handguns, as you know probably, you may know more about them than I do, I don't know a lot, but they're very specific as far as the characteristics of the gun. So the firing pin is different from your firing pin, the extraction device is different from my extraction device, and they're basically what the lab has told me is that they're like fingerprints. They're specific to that gun and that gun only.
Okay.
Okay. So we took your gun, your 40 cal SIG, and we sent it down there to the lab to have it matched with an item that we located on February the 14th when we found the girls.
Okay.
And that item was a 40 caliber Winchester round. We found that at the scene.
Okay.
The extraction marks on that round match your gun.
Perfect.
So
This is okay.
no, just hear me out. I'm just trying.
I am.
So this is the round. Okay. Those are the extraction marks. That's the best picture of them. There's actually 3 of them. That's the same round that we found. Okay. And like I said, the methodology that they use is scientific, and they were telling me, and this is the report. You can read it if you wish.
I don't need to read it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to help you. You know, let me tell you something.
Okay.
You know, the prosecutor and the other investigators, they want to see you lock you up, throw away the key. I don't
This
think
is
you're.
ridiculous.
Just listen to me for
Okay.
2 minutes. Let me explain this to you. I'm on your side. I talked to you a little bit out there on the scene.
I know.
I know you mentioned a couple times you don't want to be the fall guy for this. You also mentioned to me the other day when I was telling you, hey, I want to check the property out, make sure there's no damage, and you said, doesn't matter, it's over. You know, you made comments like that to me that really concerned me.
Sure.
Right. It's concerning.
And what I mean by it's over is that you've already started something here that there's no backing out of, so you've done, the damage is done, I guess is what I'm saying. That's what I would have been referring to.
Okay, and I agree with that. We have started this, we've been working on this for a long time, and all the evidence is clearly indicating you're involved in this. And listen to me, Rick, I don't believe you should be the fall guy. But all the evidence, you say you're out there, we have witnesses out there, we have your vehicle, we have experts. We have experts that say that's you on the video and that's your voice on the video.
Okay.
Experts, not me, I'm not an expert.
I gotcha.
Okay, and now we have your round at the scene.
Okay.
Not on the bridge, you said you're on the bridge.
I don't even know how my bullet would have gotten out there if that's my bullet.
It's without a doubt that this is very
Okay.
scientific. So let me show you a picture of this round, where it was found. That's the round right there. It hadn't been out there very long. That is Liberty's foot. It's within 6 inches of one of the dead girls' bodies.
There's no way.
There isn't.
I'm telling you, there's not.
How did that round get there, Rick?
I don't know how the round got there. What I'm telling you is, if that is truly what you're saying it is, it's not my round.
The scientific experts are saying, I got a report saying that round came from your gun.
Okay, but understand this.
You were on the bridge.
I told you I was on the bridge.
Listen, Right now, like I said, I got a prosecutor and investigators ready to lock
Okay.
you up. And if you don't give us a narrative, if you don't tell us your side of the story, there's two sides to every story. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you.
I get that.
The media is going to portray you as this
I know.
monster, and you don't want your wife.
And it's
your
already
daughter
going to get there anyway, so.
Yeah. So this is your chance to tell us exactly what happened.
Unlike some people, most people, I care what people think about me, and
And you do.
you've already set that ball rolling.
Yeah, but there's only one way to get out in front of it, and that's to tell the truth. What happened that day?
I can't tell you what happened that day.
You can tell us. There's
How?
there's no doubt in my mind that the evidence clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Are you the mastermind behind this? I don't know.
Mastermind, okay.
Did somebody else set this up? I don't know, Rick. I want to know, and only you know. The truth will set you free. That's it.
Yeah.
The truth will protect you from the.
Well, that's
media.
what I would have thought.
Well, tell the truth. Tell me how this round got next to one of our girls, in between both girls.
I don't know.
You do know. And if you don't tell me, you're going down for this.
Well, okay.
Could it be duper's delight? It's a micro-expression where individuals unconsciously smile when they feel they're successfully deceiving others. In this context, his smile amid talk of murder isn't nervousness. Do you think it's misplaced, manipulative satisfaction?
I'm serious. This isn't a joking matter.
I'm not joking.
You're this
Do you
close.
realize what you've done to me? This is like, you've talked to the people I work with, you've talked to my neighbors, you know, I've got anxiety, I got all kinds of stress and depression, and one of the big things is you could not even think something about me, but if I think you think something about me, it bothers me. And that's already done, because people out there already know that you think I did something,
I don't think.
and I didn't. Okay.
Rick, I don't think that. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved.
Right.
So if you're in my seat and I had you saying you're out there, witnesses saying you're out there at the same time the girls, and now after a search warrant of your house, we find a gun, your gun. You own that gun, right?
I do.
When did you buy it?
Oh my gosh. I don't even remember. I mean, it was-
2001. I'll check for you. I know a lot of the answers to the questions I'm going to ask you, but I'm just trying to give you the opportunity to be honest. That's
Okay.
why I asked the question. So you bought it in 2001 in Peru.
Okay.
And I asked you if you ever loaned anything out. I gave you scenarios. No. So that's your gun. Either you had that gun or somebody had that gun. Because there's no way that round gets on that property where these two girls were killed without that gun being there. And you're there, your car's there, witnesses say
There is no way a round from my gun was anywhere near the girls, the bridge. It just didn't happen.
And listen, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you prove
No,
it.
you're trying to accuse me of murdering two little. Calm me down. You asked me a few questions. You asked me what I'm wearing, and I tell you what I think I was probably wearing that day, and then you try to say that I'm saying that's me in that picture, and it's not.
You don't have to say that.
I'm done.
Well, I have a warrant for your
I know you
DNA.
do.
For your DNA first. What do you think I have a warrant for? You know I have a warrant. What?
I figure you're going to arrest me. You obviously think I've done it. The damage is done. Go ahead and do what you're going to do.
Well,
This doesn't just go away.
I know.
Exactly.
The only person I think can explain all this is you, and you're not explaining it to me.
I don't know what it is you want me to explain.
What were you doing on the bridge? How did your round get there? And why did you kill these two girls? And why were you involved in this? What was your involvement?
I had no involvement.
I don't think, listen, Rick, I don't think you're the one that killed them. I don't think you're the one that stuck the knife in them. Are you?
I
Are
didn't.
you that guy?
Really?
Are you? I'm asking you.
Anybody that knows me knows I could never, even if I wanted to, do something like that.
Then
That's not
what
who I
happened?
am.
Then what happened?
I can't tell you. How do you expect me to tell you? You want me to make up a story and
No, the truth. The truth is simple. You don't have to make that up. You just go back and tell me the truth.
I've
You can't
told
tell me
you.
that this event has not been weighing on you for years and years and years. You're out there.
I've told you that. I don't know what you want me to do at this point.
I've been so nice
Oh,
to you.
let's see.
I've been so nice to you.
Oh, yeah, you're being nice. You're trying to get me to confess to something I had nothing to
I'm
do
trying
with.
to get you to tell the truth. I'm not trying to trick you. I've drawn out what we
It's
have.
not.
It has to be the truth. The scientists don't lie. The science doesn't lie.
That's awesome.
It's saying that round came from your gun.
I don't understand all that. All I'm telling you is there's a way that a round from my gun, the one that you took from my house, ended up next to a murder scene or anywhere else.
And
I don't know where you got that bullet. If it came out of my gun.
Right there. That's the
Then
round.
it didn't come out of my gun.
That round was
Then
collected.
it didn't come out of my gun.
Rick, that round was collected on the 14th of February 2017.
Okay.
It's been in evidence ever since.
Okay.
All right, and we've compared other weapons to that.
I understand what you're saying, but I can't explain it. I'm just telling you that if that was next to a murder site or anywhere near it, it didn't come out of my gun. And I don't know where you would have got one that did come out of my gun.
Right there. It was there. It was found.
Okay.
And I don't think you realize the severity of this. You realize the death penalty is on the table for this?
You know what? I don't really care about living at this point. I've dealt with not wanting to live for 7, 8 years now. It's been a long fucking battle. And with what you guys have done to me, kill me. I don't give a fuck. You'll make my wife rich. So
Is that what she wants? Is that what your daughter wants?
they don't want any of this to even be happening.
Well, it is.
Exactly.
I can't turn this
Exactly.
back. You were there. You're there.
Yeah.
The experts say that's you on the video.
Okay.
The experts are saying you said down the hill to the girls. The experts are saying all this. That all the evidence indicates you were out there. The witnesses saw you. The witness saw you. You said you didn't see anybody else on the bridge, but there was a girl that walked up, a lady, that walked up and saw you on the platform, Rick.
Okay.
You didn't see her, and then right after that, these two girls that end up dead, minutes later, walk by her, and she looks back and sees them passing you. You're the last person to have contact with Abby and Libby. Your weapon, your gun out of your weapon is...
I've never contacted Abby and Libby. I've never even met them.
That day. Why? Who said
I
that?
didn't.
That's all I want to know, is the truth. You're not willing to...
I've told you the truth. Do what you need to do.
Okay. Well, let me get the... I have the warrant here for your DNA, and then let me step out and see. And they'll come in and swab you with it.
That's fine.
Well, I'm trying to help you, but... All right, I think they got the warrant, so hang on one second.
That head shake is doing a lot of emotional heavy lifting right now. It could be, I can't believe they're pinning this on me. Or, damn, they really have something.
Well, ball's in your court, Rick.
You just took my DNA.
So what you were telling me out there, it's over, huh?
The damage is done. I don't know.
I'm sorry that you think this is funny. You keep laughing. Maybe it's just a nervous laugh. I don't know, but I'm trying to help you.
Notice how the detective doesn't let that weird laugh slide because it shouldn't be in there in the first place. Inappropriate laughter can signify nervous deflection or subconscious pleasure, and both are alarming in the context of a double homicide.
Yes. Why is all this evidence clearly indicating that you're involved?
I can't tell you that. And what you're talking to me about is a bullet that was found by the murder scene next to...
It's more than just that. You have to listen to me for just 2 minutes straight. Just forget about everything else. Okay? The girls have a video of you. Experts are saying without a doubt that is you on the bridge, that is your voice. How they do it, I don't know, I'm not an expert.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. We have 5 witnesses that see you out there on the bridge with the girls.
Don't see that.
Right? Why don't you see that? I'm not lying to you.
Because it didn't happen.
It did happen.
There could have been somebody that seen me that I didn't see. What I'm telling you is they didn't see me anywhere near the girls or anybody else because I wasn't around anybody that day. So I'm done answering. Like, I know you're trying to trick me into saying
No, I'm
that.
not tricking you.
I don't care how stressed out I get. I'm not going to fucking admit to something that I had nothing to do with.
I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not trying to trick you.
I didn't kill.
Listen, I have a full hand of cards here. I'm not laying all my cards on the table.
Okay.
I'm telling you bits and pieces, hoping that you will realize that without a doubt, we have you out there at the time of the murder. It clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Clearly.
It does not. There is nothing that you could have that's going to indicate me because I wasn't out there.
And you don't think that you're around like 6 inches away
I
from
know
dead
that
girl's foot?
I know that a round from my gun did not end up at a murder scene.
You're wrong.
Okay.
And the proof is right here.
I don't believe it. I mean,
Well, you're going to.
I'm not.
You said you didn't want to be the fall guy. You're being the fall guy because you won't give us your side of the story. The truth.
I don't care.
You should care.
You're not going to prove I did something I didn't do.
You're exactly right. We're not. We're going to
Okay.
prove what you did. Your involvement in this.
Involvement. What was my
You
involvement?
tell me. You were there.
And I told you
wasn't
I
there.
had nothing to do with it.
My-
I told you I never even seen it.
I wasn't there. I'm not on video. 4
Neither
witnesses
am I.
didn't see me. 4 or 5 witnesses didn't see me out there, and I can.
Me either.
And my round wasn't out of my gun. Wasn't 6 inches away from a dead girl's foot.
Mine either.
I'm telling you, you're living in this world,
Okay.
and I don't know why. I'm showing you some of the evidence that we have. And I'm giving you the opportunity to give your narrative, because if you don't, they're going to make it up. And you know, as the media, not even media is mild compared to social media,
Sure.
is going to portray you as this monster. Are you a monster?
They're already going to do that. You've already talked.
When you get arrested for
It
this?
doesn't even matter because I actually
many-
care about what people think.
Yeah, you do.
I said I do. I actually care
I
about
know
what
you
people
do.
think. That's why.
So do I. That's
You've
why I'm
already
here.
done the damage. How am I supposed to? Never mind.
No, please talk to me.
I just
Clear this up in my head.
I just don't know how I'm supposed to act like this never happened.
You can't. You can't. Act
I'm not
like this.
saying the murder. I'm saying
That's exactly what you're saying. You're
Freudian slips occur when suppressed thoughts breach conscious control. In high-stakes interrogation, such moments are invaluable.
Your conscience is trying to tell you, this is the day. This is the time. This is the time to get out in front of this, Rick. You made a mistake. You got in the
No, I
middle of
didn't.
this. You got in the middle of this. You cannot explain all the evidence away. And you're saying, oh, that's not me. I'm just telling you what we have, some of what we have.
okay.
And we're still working on other things.
Okay.
But
I'm not going to
said
tell
earlier-
you I did something I didn't do.
I don't want you to say.
End of story.
And I appreciate that. What did you do? What is
I-
your involvement? Who else? You know, I have 100 different questions, but if you're not willing to tell the truth, it's a waste of your time and mine. And you're going down for something that you have maybe some involvement in. And maybe this is all you. That's what it's
Where's this guy that's saying that I helped him?
You tell me. I'm not saying that. Did I say today that
You're saying that I was involved. Well, if I didn't do it, but I'm involved, what are you saying? If you got somebody saying I helped them do it, they're fucking crazy.
Okay. I never said that. Did I? I just said you're involved. What is your involvement? Is that a theory that some people may have that
I
maybe
don't
you act
know.
as? I just want you to tell me all the truth. I just want you to
I'm
be
done.
just completely honest with me.
If you're gonna arrest me, arrest me. I'm not talking anymore. This is ridiculous.
I just thought maybe you would appreciate my effort to help you. I mean, apparently you don't, because
Okay.
after today I can't help you.
I understand that.
You do understand that.
I don't need your help.
You need help. You don't think any of this is important?
I think that nothing that you have is gonna show me anywhere near the murder of 2 little girls. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, we do have that.
You don't. It's not possible.
It is possible.
Whatever.
I know I wasn't in there. Could you just give me?
No.
You don't want to talk about that.
Okay,
Okay,
what
what?
about any of it?
Okay, what I failed to tell you too is the witnesses saw a gun in your pocket.
No, they didn't.
You're saying you didn't have a gun
I'm saying I did not have a gun.
when you were out there, and you told me earlier no one borrowed that gun.
I probably never would have let somebody borrow my gun.
Probably wouldn't have, but I'm asking you, did you?
No.
Okay. And again, I tried to clarify this earlier. You and I both know I'm not a scientist, and you're not a scientist. But what the scientists are telling me is this extraction mark is like a fingerprint. It's unique to the gun. And we've been working on this for over 5.5 years. We get a search warrant for your house, find your gun, because we were told when we found that round that it had 3 extraction marks on it. And without a doubt, they would be able to match that extraction mark to the gun. Not type of gun, the gun. We've taken multiple guns down there, and they have not matched to those extraction marks.
Mm-hmm.
Your gun does, 100% without a doubt. It's in this certificate of analysis. The scientists say that the marks on that gun are match your gun.
And I'm telling you, it didn't happen. I didn't shoot anybody. I've never even pointed a gun at
I'm
anybody.
not saying you shot anybody. I'm saying a fully intact round from your gun was.
And I'm telling you, that's not possible.
It is.
It's not.
How's it not?
Because I wasn't there.
You were there. You said you were there. There's some.
I told you I was on the trail. I didn't tell you I was at a murder site.
This round is telling me you were there. You didn't.
I don't care what it's telling you.
You didn't
honestly.
lend your gun to anybody. I asked you that. Did you?
I'm done answering questions. Just arrest me. I'm done.
I'm trying to help you, Rick.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you something that's not true so you can feel better about this.
I already feel good about this.
Okay.
I feel good about what the experts are telling me.
Okay.
I feel good about the scientific evidence. I feel good about the witness statements. I feel good about everything. What I don't feel good about is you being a fall guy for anybody or everybody or anybody involved in this, if that's possible. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you did do this all by yourself. And that's exactly, I know you keep snickering at that, but that's exactly what's going to be portrayed of you. You're this evil monster that was just hunting for 2 teenage girls so you could just go down there and terrorize them and kill them, and that's not true. Is it?
I told you.
You and I both know that that's not true. You and I both know what happened. The evidence clearly is indicating. Now there's some missing pieces, and I'm going to find those missing pieces.
Okay.
And it would be easier if you helped me find those missing pieces.
Oh my God. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do.
I don't want you to. I told you that.
That's exactly what you want me to do. What else would you want me to do but tell you I did it? And I'm not going to, because I didn't. I've never been around those 2 girls in my life.
You were on the trail that day.
I was on the trail that day, and I told you
And
that.
they walked right by you, according to witnesses.
No, they didn't. I never even seen them. Like, I think I'm going to see somebody if they walk past me. Am I not? I'm not saying somebody didn't see me that I didn't see. All I'm telling you is I never seen those 2 girls.
And why didn't you report this day one?
Report what?
That you were out there and you saw these 2 girls, you were in the area.
The very day that they came out and said that they wanted anybody who might have been out there to come in, that's what I did. I went down to the police station. I said, hey, I was out at the trail that day.
Did you want to?
Well, I obviously did, or I wouldn't have.
Did your wife encourage you to? Because she's talking to us. She's talking to us right now. And she's.
I'm sure she is. And she's going to tell you there's no way in hell that I'd ever do this. So, we're all good.
It's not what was going on, Rick.
Then I don't know what is.
I just wish you'd be honest. That's all I do.
Oh my God. I have been honest with you, and you obviously don't believe me.
I don't, because if this evidence wasn't there, I would.
Okay.
You don't believe this evidence is...
I don't.
We're not here.
There's no way possible.
We didn't...
There is no way possible that a round from my gun ended up at a murder scene. It's not possible. So something's obviously wrong.
Something is wrong.
Exactly.
You and I both know what's wrong.
I didn't do it. And I'm not going to sit here all day trying to convince you that I didn't do it.
No.
You obviously think that I did.
I'm not going to sit here all day and convince you that I think that you did do it, Rick. I'm just laying down some of the evidence that we have.
Okay.
And we're going to get more.
I don't think
And
so.
we're only giving you the opportunity to get out in front of this. This is your opportunity. Like I said earlier, the truth is easy.
I've got nothing to get out in front of. I'm not going to tell you I did something I didn't do.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't want you to tell me something that you didn't do.
Then
I
stop
just want
asking me to.
I'm not. I'm just asking you to tell the truth about this day. I asked you to go back and rehash it and you wouldn't. Why?
I told you, because I'm not going to, you guys are like trying to trick me into
I'm not trying to
doing
trick you.
something.
I'm not trying to trick you.
I told you what happened. You've already got it. There's no need
There's
for me
some
to
holes
tell
in
you
that
again.
Story.
Whatever. There aren't any. I don't know how I can make this any clearer. I'm not going to tell you that I had something to do with this.
Okay. And I don't know how I can make this any clearer. We have evidence indicating that you're clearly involved in
Okay.
this. And that's sad that you won't help.
Okay.
Because if that was your daughter out there, you would want some people to help.
You're damn right I
You're
would.
right. But you don't, so.
While the community was out searching for the missing girls, his wife reportedly wanted to join in the search efforts. But Richard allegedly discouraged her from going out to help find them. What's even stranger is that after the murders, Alan took his own daughter to the exact same Monon High Bridge trail to click pictures of her. The idea that he would bring his child to the scene of a double child murder mere months later is beyond disturbing.
Still waiting because it sounds like your wife's talking and she's being honest, so. She basically said, you can't believe you lied to her, so you're lying to us too, but. So is there a reason why you have this round in your little keepsake box? What kind of ammo did you have for your SIG?
I don't know.
Blazer?
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
At that time.
At that time, you had Winchester.
Okay.
The round we found was Winchester. The ammo you had in your gun and for your gun at the time was Blazer. But this was a Winchester. It says right there, Winchester. Same exact type of round.
We've been through this.
I know. I'm just giving you an opportunity. And like I said, your wife's being honest.
Please stop giving me opportunity.
She says ever since 2017, she's saying that you didn't want to go. You wouldn't let her go on the search party. She wanted to help.
Oh.
And she's saying that.
I think I know my wife.
Well, I'm just telling you.
My
Want me to bring her in?
Some stupid shit.
You want me to bring her in and tell you? She's telling the truth about what happened. You didn't tell her, but you've lied to her for years. Is how she feels right now. Because, and your depression has gotten considerably worse since this incident, which is.
This has been going on for 7-8 years now.
But it's gotten worse since this.
Well, it's gotten really bad.
I could see why. If I killed two girls, I would get.
Oh my God.
I would have depression too.
Well,
I would have mental issues too.
I'm sure you would.
Living with this.
I'm sure you would.
And that's why you are. Here's what I think, Rick. I don't know. Only you know. But here's my theory. You're out there. Maybe somebody set this up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe you're out there. Maybe we know you're out there. That's not a theory. That's a fact. We know you had a gun. Girls saw the gun in there. We know you have anger issues. Your wife told us before that you have some anger issues, and you have depression, and you have, those types of issues. And maybe these girls said something to you. I don't know. Maybe you said go down the hill, which we know. The experts say you said go down the hill. You get down there and they piss you off for whatever reason. You racked the gun. You didn't realize you racked that gun to scare them, and that round popped out. You didn't realize it. Because maybe, do you carry that gun with a round chambered, or do you not have it chambered?
When I carry it, I would have a round chamber,
So
but
you
I
rack
didn't
it to
carry it
scare
very
it
often.
Well, you were carrying it that day, because
Huh?
girls said. So if you have one chambered, and what I'm saying is if I have a round chamber, which I do, and I rack this gun right now, a fully intact round will pop out. Correct?
I assume.
Well, that's what's happened, and you didn't realize it.
Okay.
And that's why that round's there on the ground, Rick. And this is your opportunity. And you say that you don't want to this and
Can you
that.
please stop giving me opportunities? I'm not going to sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do.
Okay, tell me what
I'm
you
not
did
going to tell you I'm involved with something.
Tell me
that I
what you
wasn't
did do
involved
then
with.
that day. Help me.
I didn't
Help me
murder
set
two
you
little
free.
girls.
What did you do?
I went for a walk on the trail and I
Okay.
went home. And I told you the details of the best I can remember of what I did that day and what the walk was. I'm not gonna. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna just keep repeating myself.
Okay.
So,
But I'm not going to keep bringing up more evidence either. I mean, I can
Okay.
only give you so much.
Experts testified that he experienced significant mental health decline while incarcerated, including symptoms of psychosis, which made him bang his head against the wall and even eat his own feces and smear it on the walls.
Because right now, you are already out there by witnesses, and you and I both know that realistically, the evidence doesn't lie. So
it obviously does, if that's what it's
know,
saying.
I think I know you well enough, maybe I don't, that if you did know somebody borrowed your gun or had your gun, you would tell us.
Of course I would.
Okay. So it's realistic for me to believe that you were the only one to have your gun. Excuse me.
I've answered that 15 times.
Okay. And you said 15 times. You can't explain why your round is by this dead girl's foot.
Because it's not.
But it is. You
But
believe in
it's not.
science. You believe in that analysis. You believe that our lab, that round's been in storage since the 14th of 2017.
I am telling you that any round involved in this whole thing did not come from my gun.
And I'm telling you, you're lying.
Okay.
Because I have evidence that it is.
You don't.
That's not evidence?
I'm telling you, never mind.
Please,
Nope.
tell me. I'm all ears. Tell me.
I've got nothing to say. This is ridiculous.
So you're saying you didn't have the gun on the trail, so there's no way you racked it out there on the trail and somebody might have picked this round up?
What I'm telling you is I don't carry my gun. I carry my gun if we go fishing along the river, like night fishing. I carry my gun if we're going to go out and tromp through the woods mushroom hunting somewhere. That's about the only times I even carry my gun.
And you weren't mushroom hunting and you weren't fishing that day.
It was like February or something.
February 13th,
Okay.
2017.
You realize mushrooms don't grow that early,
Yeah,
right?
it's about May, right? April,
Probably
May.
around there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Why would I be mushroom hunting?
I'm just saying, you weren't mushroom hunting and you weren't fishing. You were just walking on a trail. There's no way you would. I'm trying to figure out how that round got out there. If you're adamant that it is your round, I mean, you can't deny that. It's a round from your gun. Did you rack it on the trail and,
I didn't. I didn't have my gun that day.
never racked it on the trail?
I didn't have my gun that day.
Ever. Any day. You ever remember racking your gun on that trail?
No, I don't.
You ever remember racking your gun while you're mushroom hunting out there in the years prior? Do you ever remember racking your gun when you were fishing? Did you ever go fishing there?
Not usually, no.
Fishing in February. Well, why would you carry your gun? I'm not a fisherman or a hunter. But why would you carry your gun if you're out mushroom hunting?
Just because you're going to be out in the boondocks, you just never know who you're going to run into. Personal protection.
Okay. Or snakes or something like that, I guess.
I probably wouldn't shoot a snake.
You wouldn't?
No.
I would.
Well,
I hate
it's your
snakes.
choice.
All right.
I'm not saying I like them.
I guess I'm quicker than a snake. I can get away, maybe. When you do carry it, do you carry it like just on your hip, or do you carry it like one of those fancy holsters, or do you just put it in your pocket? Or
It's got a holster.
Some seconds or minutes have been edited out in this interview. What was in those missing moments? More lies? A confession? Or just an unraveling they didn't want us to see? Every redacted clip holds a secret. And in a case this disturbing, even seconds matter.
all right, let me see what the prosecutor has to say. I'm gonna call him real quick. Tell him what's going on, okay?
Okay.
What do you want me to tell him?
I want you to tell him whatever you want to tell him. I mean,
The truth? I'll tell him the truth, because that's what I do.
that's your version of the truth. Because it's obviously not.
I'm not making it up.
It's obviously not the truth.
You think I'm making up that we found this round? And
I don't know what you're doing. What I'm telling you is...
I'm not making this up. You and I both know. I'm not lying to you about anything. Everything I'm telling you is facts.
Okay.
I'm not trying to trick you into anything, Rick. I know you probably you said you watched Dateline and all these fancy shows. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just giving you some of the evidence that we have against you.
And I'm telling you that that's not possible.
Well, I can't. I'm not making this up. I can't make it up. This is a legal document. Item 16.
Any other evidence that
was identified as being cycled in the firearm of item 314. Item 314 is your gun. Item 16 is the round that we found out there on the ditch bank next to Liberty's foot. And that round compared to your gun.
And I'm telling you that didn't happen. That it's
telling
not
you
possible.
did. I don't. So you think I've just typed this up? You think I'm just...
You're saying it happened. I'm not denying you're saying that. What I'm telling you is there's no way my bullet was found near a murder scene. It didn't happen.
And I showed you a picture.
And I can tell you...
Of a round, a Winchester .40 caliber round, right?
I've got nothing to work. Any other evidence that you have is obviously not going to point at me. I mean...
It is.
Okay.
The expert witnesses, the witnesses, all of it.
I don't believe that.
But
go ahead and call the prosecutor.
I'm just stumped here on what you think I made this up.
What do you want me to tell you?
I want you to tell you how do you think I made this up? Do you think I just typed this up? This is an official document.
I never said you made it up.
I can't lie to you.
I never said you made it up.
I can't lie to you and say, hey, I have an official document right here saying that this exam was done on this round that we found at the scene. I can't make any of that up. That's what you're telling me.
Well, no. Okay. I've not once said that you're lying. I've not once said that you're making that up.
You're just saying...
What I'm telling you is that there's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up anywhere near a murder scene. It just didn't happen.
And
that's all I can tell you. I can't tell you any more than that.
And all I can tell you is we found this round back in 2017.
Okay.
Collected it. Have compared other guns to it. Other guns have not matched. We've had it for over 5.5 years. Right, we get information, you're on the trail, we want to talk to you and say, hey, what's going on? Who'd you see? What'd you do? You kind of cooperate, but then we say, hey, we're looking for this and that. Would you let us look? Nope, get a search warrant. We did. We got a search warrant.
Sure.
And we found this gun in your house that you bought in 2001 that the extraction marks, which is is the analogy I got from the lab is it's compared to a fingerprint. It's unlike anybody else's.
Okay.
Because these extraction marks, if they got my SIG 40, if I had a SIG 40, I have a 45 and a 9, but if I had a 40, it wouldn't match to my gun. And we've had multiple 40 caliber guns down there testing on other people that cooperated with us.
Okay.
And it doesn't match to their gun. So that's why I'm telling you why we're here.
Sure.
One reason why we're here today is because your gun matches to this round that was found out there. I can't make that up. I'm not lying to you, Rick. I can't. That's unethical. I can't go take
It's obviously what you think. What I'm telling you is
it's not what I think. It's what the evidence is telling me. If I just thought, oh, I'm gonna make this story up of it. Oh, somebody was out there and jacked around out of their gun. I can't make that up without the evidence that indicates it. Did they say anything to you about this round and about your gun the day they talked to you a couple weeks ago?
No.
No, because we didn't know.
Okay.
And then we collected all the evidence that we thought would match to the evidence that we have and run the test on it, and the test says, ding.
And what I'm telling you is, and I guess I
can't deny this.
What I'm
I know
telling you
what you're
is,
telling me. You're telling me that your gun and that round was nowhere near. And I'm telling you that the evidence indicates it is. Right? We're on the same sheet?
That's what you're telling me, yes.
And that's what you're telling me?
No.
What are you telling me?
I'm telling you that...
There's no way in hell that my gun and round's out there. Go ahead, say it. Sorry, I won't interrupt you.
I'm not saying anything.
Because you know it's a lie. I can't make this up. That's what I'm saying. You and I both know. I can't make this up. I can't. This is a certified official document. I can't just type this shit up and say, oh, look at me. I'm lying to you, Rick.
Okay.
I'm trying to trick you into confessing to something you didn't do. That's bullshit. You and I both know I can't do that.
Okay.
So tell me.
You tell me. Tell me.
I think you were involved in this double homicide. That's what I'm telling you because of the facts that we have.
I get that you think that. And I'm telling you I wasn't.
Okay. And if that's all it was, your word against my word, I would be like, okay, Rick, we'll see you later. But I got all this evidence that we can present to a jury of your peers that's going to say, wow, Rick did this. He won't talk to us, though, so we don't know what he is. He's just some crazy monster that chases around teenage girls and wants to torture them and do whatever. That's what they're going to say. And now your wife and your daughter and your friends and your family have to live with that.
Exactly. They already have to. You've already done the damage.
I didn't do the damage.
You certainly did. You and everybody else.
A round from my gun isn't down there.
I can't explain to you something that I don't understand.
Okay. I wish you could. I wish somebody could.
I certainly wish I could.
Well, sit tight. I'm going to find out what your wife's been telling the other detective, and we'll go.
Right.
Okay? I can bring her in here, too. Let her tell you. Maybe she can convince you to tell the truth. Your wife wants to come in and talk to you, so she's going to come and talk to you for a minute, okay? Anything else? You need a smoke break? I know you smoke. You want to step out back and smoke before you talk to your wife?
If you'll let me, I will.
Do you have a cigarette on?
They're in my jacket.
Where's your jacket?
I'm assuming she has it.
Okay. So step out back.
Is there a restroom I can use?
Restroom break, smoke break, anything else? I'll see if she wants to come and talk to you. You need nothing else? Water good? You need anything else to drink?
I'm just over this.
I know. Okay. I want to get over it too. I have a job to do. I'm trying to figure shit out.
Get it.
Me again. She wants to talk to you.
Okay.
She's calming down a little bit.
Okay.
We basically told her about the same evidence that we have that we told you about. And she's wants to talk to you. She's a little upset.
Probably terrified.
She is. So she's drinking her water and calming down a little bit. Like I told her, you mentioned it earlier, you're worried about what people are going to think and all this. I get that. I don't think you're a bad person. Neither does she.
What kind of good person kills two people?
People make bad decisions all the time. I don't know what happened. You know, for all I know, maybe they did something.
What makes two of us?
Well, you have some explaining to do, though. I don't think you can explain why, and other than you think I'm making it up. But good people make bad decisions all the time. Good people get backed into a corner all the time, and I don't know what they did. Maybe. I have a hard time believing they did something to. I don't think anybody could do something to deserve to be killed over, but you know, if somebody gets angry and their medication isn't right or whatever, I'm on medication. If my medication isn't right, maybe I don't make the best decisions. You know, people that are drinking and doing drugs, not saying you do, but when people drink and do drugs or the medication's off, maybe they make bad decisions. Good people do it all the time, but good people get out in front of it and tell the truth and try to help, put an end to it. And she believes that she doesn't think we're making any of this up.
You have to wonder, when that grainy video first aired, did something inside her just click? Maybe she saw the walk, the posture, the clothes, and deep down, she knew. People close to you notice things no one else can. It's possible she buried the suspicion, convincing herself it couldn't be true, until it was.
She thinks you're a good person. I think you're a good person. I just think something went wrong. I don't know why or what happened, but only one person can tell me, and that's you.
I can't tell you something that I don't know. And I don't know how to make that any clearer.
You don't want to remember?
Oh my God, I didn't do anything. I didn't murder two little girls. I didn't help somebody murder two little girls. I wasn't involved in, what'd you say, scheming or whatever. I wasn't involved with these two girls in any way, shape, or form. Never even seen them before.
Well, I'm gonna let her talk to you a little bit.
Okay.
You guys can try to sort this out and let me know whatever I can do to help. If you need more water or anything.
Okay.
Need another smoke break.
Hey, baby. Yeah. It's all right, babe. It's gonna be all right. They're trying to tell me that you actually believe that I did it. And I just can't believe that.
Trying to figure out why there's a bullet out there, dude.
I know. Do you think I'm not? And that's what I told them. But I can't explain something I don't understand. I tried to explain to them that there's no way that a bullet from my gun was at a murder scene, because it didn't happen. I didn't even have my gun that day I went out. You know me. You know this isn't something I could do. And I know that you know that. You don't have to tell me that, I know.
It's so eerie how he keeps saying the same things to her. Like if he repeats it enough, it'll become true. That's a classic manipulation tactic. Flood someone with words to drown out their gut instincts. But here's the creepy part. What if this is also his weird, twisted way of asking for help? Maybe not consciously, but as a cornered, scared man.
They really think I did this. And they want me to believe that I know you know I didn't do this. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I'm not going to say something that's not true, and I can't explain something that I don't understand. The only way for me to explain it is that I don't know. Because I'm saying it's not possible. There's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene. I didn't murder anybody. I didn't help somebody murder anybody. You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you. I know you know me. I know you know that I didn't do this. Had anything to do with it. They talk about scheming or something.
Yeah. I don't know how did a bullet from your gun get out there?
I don't know.
Because they said it came from our gun.
I know that's what they believe me. That's what they're telling me.
But how did it get there?
I don't know.
They said there was one in your box above your dresser to match it.
They showed me that picture too. I can't explain it. And I don't.
I can't either. They keep asking me and I don't know how to answer that.
People forget, but the families of criminals serve their own life sentences. She's now part of the story, whether she asked for it or not.
You answer. I understand. Me either. And that's what I'm trying to tell them. You want to keep asking me and I just keep telling you I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain something that isn't possible. But I know, this is what I do know. I know that no bullet from my gun was connected with a murder in any way, shape, or form. And there's no way a bullet from my gun would have been near Abby and Libby's murder or anything else, because I never even seen those girls. Period. And I didn't even have my gun that day. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain it.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't know
And I'm
what...
like, how did they know it was you? And so they said they showed her a picture. And I'm like, of course you were out there.
If they see me out there, they see me out there, dear. And I told
Were
them...
you on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first trestle.
Oh, okay.
That first
I
thing
don't
that...
remember you telling me that. You told me, so I told you weren't on it. But I didn't.
It doesn't... hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Right.
Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it.
You told me you weren't.
Huh?
You told me you weren't, so I just was...
No. I told you that I walked.
Okay.
I love you, baby. I don't know what they're trying to do, but I know that that's not what I told you. And I love you. And I just, this is, they're not going to get away with this. This is exactly what I would never want for you, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to say I did something I didn't do. I'm not.
Yeah.
And I know you know me, and I know you know that I would never do this.
He's planting a thought in her mind by making her responsible for believing it. It's like verbal hypnosis. Say it enough, and maybe she'll start believing it too. This is classic coercive control. By framing the statement this way, he forces her to either agree or betray him. It's psychological boxing in.
All I can say, hon, is you know me. I know, and I know you know me, and I know you. And what they're doing to you right now, I'm not okay with this at all. And they know it, but they're going to do what they're going to do. I'm just sorry you're having to hurt. I'm sorry I'm having to go through it. I mean, how? It's like I told them, the damage is already done. You've already talked to people I work with, you've talked to neighbors of mine, and I care about what people think. You know I care about what people think.
No.
Hell, I have enough trouble not trying to believe that people think. Half the time I just think they think what I'm thinking. You know what I'm talking about. I'm always worried about what Jory thinks, or...
I know.
And they're trying to, talk about my anxiety and depression and shit, and, I've tried to explain to them it's been going on for 7, 8 years. Hell, I've had it my whole life. They want me to tell them that I did it, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to admit to something that I didn't do. How stupid is that? I don't care what they do to me. I'm not going to admit to doing something I had nothing to do with. And I'm not going to try to explain something I can't explain, because I don't know. You tell me, because I don't know. I just know that I never even carried the gun unless we were going mushroom hunting, tromping through the woods, or fishing along the river. That's the only time I even carried it for the most part. I never even would have, hell, I haven't carried my gun, and I don't even remember a time when I used to carry it. I mean, other than going fishing, like if we were going night fishing.
But how did the bullet get out there, honey? I can't understand that.
I told you, I can't either, hon. There's 2 explanations. One is, the bullet didn't come from my gun.
It did though, honey. They've got ballistics on it.
I get that. Then it didn't come from a murder scene. I don't know what else to say. I get that. I get what they're saying. What I'm telling you is, if that bullet came from my gun, there's no way it was found with their investigation for the murders. There's no way. I can't explain something I have no answer for.
While he denies it now, Richard confessed to the murders over 60 times during jailhouse calls to his wife and mother. During these confessions, he revealed some things that no one other than the killer would know, but he also made inconsistent statements about the nature of the crimes, including claims of sexual assault and shooting the victims, which were not supported by autopsy findings.
I'm sorry, hon. I'm trying to keep this together.
Oh, hon.
I don't want to upset you anymore. All I want to do is be able to help you. I'm not saying anything, but if it gets to a point that it's too much, you just need to call the investigators and tell them to come and get me and bring me to you, and I'll tell them whatever they want me to tell them, because whatever it is they want me to say, I'll just say it.
No.
Will you just let everybody know how much I love them?
Of course I will. They already know, hon. They all know.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Nobody loves me anymore.
Stop.
I just wanted to apologize to you.
What's going on, sweetheart?
I did it.
You did
No,
what?
I did it.
What?
I killed Abby and Libby.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't, Darren.
Yes, I did.
Don't say
I don't know why.
No, you didn't.
I just wanted to apologize to you.
What's going on, sweetheart?
I did it.
You did
No,
what?
I did it.
What?
I killed Abby and Libby.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't, Darren.
Yes, I did.
Don't say
I don't know why.
No, you didn't.
I think I did. I wish I could say I didn't. I don't know.
They want you to think that I done it. That's what this is all about. They want you to come in here and make me believe that you think I did it, and I know you don't. You know me too well. You know I'd never do something like this, or even be involved with something like this. So they're probably going to come and take you away from me and go at me again. So just tell them you want an attorney, and they'll have to let you leave. Don't worry about me. I'm trying to, I don't know what they're doing.
And here it comes, that moment when the detective just snaps.
Yes, you do.
There is no way that evidence is going to show that I did
Right
this.
fucking here, Rick.
You got one piece of evidence
I got
that I
multiple
can't
pieces.
explain.
Multiple. I'm not showing you my whole fucking hand here.
I don't care. I'm
You
telling
should
you, I'm
care.
done talking.
And now you're gonna drag your fucking wife and your daughter through this because you're too fucking bullheaded to get out in front of this and admit that you made a mistake. And whatever the fuck happened out there, we'll never fucking know because you're too big of a fucking bullheaded. Go ahead.
So tell you I did something.
Tell me
that
the
I
truth.
didn't do.
The truth, Rick. I don't want to know.
I've told you the truth, and you don't want to hear it.
The evidence tells me otherwise. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved in this.
No,
I
it
saw this-
doesn't.
It fucking does.
It doesn't. I'm telling you that there is no way that a bullet from my gun was used in these murders.
And I'm telling you that we had this fucking round on February the
understand.
14th, 2017. It's been secured in a fucking laboratory, and we've tested other guns.
I understand
I'm
what you're
telling her.
saying.
I want her to hear this,
I
Rick.
understand what you're saying. What I'm telling you is I can't explain something I don't understand.
Oh, the scientists
That's not
explained
possible.
it for you. The lab analysis analysts have explained that for you. They're saying that this round, without a doubt, came from your gun.
Then
And
you've
told me
taken it from somewhere else then. Because it's not possible.
I did not take it from somewhere else. It was logged in. It was taken as photograph. You think we fucking went and stole your fucking round and threw it down by a fucking dead girl's foot? This ain't fucking TV. This is realistic.
I understand.
We collected that fucking item on February the 14th. We didn't take it from anywhere
Okay.
else but that fucking scene. And we didn't take your gun from anywhere else. We took it from your fucking house.
I'm telling you I can't explain something.
And I'm telling you the fucking analysts explain it. You can't get past this.
Can you please let my wife out?
Absolutely. Come on, Kathy.
I love you, baby. Can I kiss her?
Yeah, kiss her. Do the right thing, Kathy. Tell him to do the right thing.
She knows I will.
Yeah, do the right thing. You're going to put your family through this for no reason.
You're going to pay for what you've done to my wife.
What am I
You
doing?
want to
What?
fuck with me, but you leave my wife out of this. Fuck, leave me out of it.
No, you're involved in this. You're fucking rounds there, Rick.
No, it's
I can
not.
see you're getting pissed off. I
I
understand.
am pissed off. Did you not see my wife?
Did you not see these fucking two girls dead?
No,
That's what happened. You got fucking pissed off at them. You fucking dragged them down a fucking hill, and you fucking killed them. Don't fucking tell me you didn't.
I didn't kill anyone.
Bullshit. You're
Ability?
fucking upset for a reason, not
Because you
of
guys
us.
are trying to
Because of
kill
you.
somebody.
You're trying to tell me that I'm not making this fucking round shit up, Rick. It is what it is.
I'm done talking. Arrest me.
Happy to. Be fucking happy to, because I tried to fucking help you and you wouldn't fucking do it.
Oh, you're helping me.
I'm guilty and I know it, and I'm gonna fucking prove it.
Okay.
And I'm not paying for any of this shit. You're paying. This is on you. This ain't on me. It's fucking on you, Rick. You had your fucking opportunity. Fuck.
Richard was charged with felony murder for the killing of Abigail Williams while attempting to commit kidnapping, felony murder for the killing of Liberty German while attempting to commit kidnapping, murder for knowingly killing Abby, and murder for knowingly killing Libby. He was arrested after police searched his home in 2022. On December 20th, 2024, Richard Allen was sentenced to 130 years in prison for the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. The sentence comprises 2 consecutive 65-year terms. And that's where we end this video. If you liked today's video, then drop a line. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can check out my Patreon link in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.